The room pulsed with artificial warmth, candlelight flickering off gold-rimmed plates and wine flutes arranged like soldiers on a velvet-draped table. My parents' yearly Heritage Gala was less a reunion and more a theater production. Relatives, dragged in from distant states, wore stiff smiles, their eyes darting like they'd rather be anywhere else. My father, Roland, commanded the stage, his laugh a practiced boom. I held out trays of seared lamb and truffle risotto, my mother, Celeste, murmuring, "Look lively, Nora. Don't spoil the mood." Her smile was a brittle veneer, the kind you flash at a charity auction. Dinner was Roland's spotlight. He spun tales of his corporate conquests, twirling a whiskey glass like a baton, milking every pause for applause. Aunts and uncles snapped photos, my cousin Mia live-streaming snippets for her followers. I stayed quiet, nodding at stray questions before Roland's voice drowned mine out. Mid-meal, my Uncle Theo remarked on my silence. Roland's eyes glinted, sharp as a blade. "Nora's more prop than player," he said, his tone slicing through the clatter. A few chuckles followed, but he leaned closer. "Let's give her a spotlight." Before I could flinch, his hand clamped my shoulder. A swift shove, and my face plunged into my plate, risotto and sauce scalding my skin. The table exploded in gasps and stifled laughter. I raised my head, globs of food sliding down my jaw, my pulse a war drum. Roland lounged back, grinning. "Now she's the centerpiece." Celeste's gaze stayed on her glass, her face a mask of disinterest. Cousins' phones were out, recording, their giggles like needles. I scrubbed my face with a napkin, hands unsteady, refusing to let tears spill. That would have been his encore. Roland posed for selfies with my brother, Liam, his perfect heir, whose smirk at me was a silent taunt. I slipped to the restroom, locking myself in. The mirror showed a wreck, sauce in my hair, eyeliner smudged, eyes blazing. Not with grief, but with a cold, sharp fury. Every relative had a phone. Every phone had caught Roland's prank. And Roland, who built his life on his flawless reputation, didn't know those clips could burn it all down. I grinned, not from relief, but from a plan snapping into focus. Back in the chaos, I blended into the background as Roland and Liam preached about family bonds. The hypocrisy was acid in my throat. I watched fingers swiping screens, cousins snickering at their footage. They'd captured it, my shame, his cruelty. I sidled up to my cousin Ezra, 16 and tethered to his phone. "Hey," I said, voice low, "send me that clip from earlier. For the family album." He smirked. "The faceplant? Legendary." I faked a chuckle. By the time dessert hit, chocolate torte and espresso, his video was mine. Over the next week, I gathered more. Aunt Vera's clip caught the table's shocked murmurs. Cousin Jade showed Roland's smug leer in crisp detail. Ezra's was gold, every word razor sharp, now she's the centerpiece. 3 perspectives, 3 bullets. But clips alone wouldn't do. Roland could spin anything, paint his malice as jest. I needed a narrative to gut his facade. I edited with precision, stitching his lies into a trap. Footage of Roland's speeches about honor and unity, his polished grins in gala photos, cut against the slow-motion shove, the laughter, my sauce-streaked face. Text overlays in bold crimson, asterisk a father's game. A family's silence. A daughter's wound, asterisk I didn't want online infamy. I wanted Roland to choke on his own stage, in front of his adoring crowd, with no escape. The opportunity came fast. 10 days later, my parents planned a legacy showcase for the same guests, a self-aggrandizing video reel of the gala. They'd booked a local theater, complete with a massive screen, craving adoration. It was ideal. I'd helped Liam with tech for his school plays, I knew the projector's wiring. My file would overwrite their sappy montage, and they'd be none the wiser. I played along, helped Liam pick a tie, nodded at Celeste's menu tweaks, while my flash drive burned a hole in my coat pocket. At the event, the theater hummed with chatter and clinking flutes. Roland worked the crowd, his voice a megaphone. Liam preened for photos. I drifted to the projector booth, heart slamming, and swapped the drives in a heartbeat. My file was locked and loaded. I took a seat in the shadows, eyes on Roland's smug profile. The lights dimmed. The screen flared, a night of legacy. The crowd hushed, grinning at opening slides, Roland toasting, relatives beaming. Then my edit hit. Roland's voice, warm and grand, preaching about family above all, bled into the slow-motion clip of his hand forcing my face into the plate. The theater gasped as one. His words rang out, the centerpiece, followed by cruel laughter, my face rising, sauce dripping. Text flashed, family honor? Jade's angle played next, showing Celeste's cold sip of whiskey. Then Ezra's, Roland's grin in brutal clarity. Whispers grew, someone muttered, that's sick. I'd woven in older moments, Roland mocking my art at a picnic, dismissing my goals at a reunion, paired with their glossy Instagram posts of ideal family life. The pattern was stark. For the knockout, I'd added a clip of myself, filmed in the restroom that night, saw still clinging to my hair. This is our legacy, I said, voice like steel. The screen went dark. Text lingered, a legacy unmasked. The lights rose. The silence was a physical force. Roland's face was gray, his jaw locked. Celeste's glass trembled, liquid sloshing. Liam's glare found me, eyes wide with realization. Relatives shifted, avoiding Roland's gaze. His investor, Ms. Hargrove, stood sharply. Enough, she said, striding out without a glance. Others followed, their whispers a rising tide. Liam hissed, you think this wins you anything? I didn't reply. I grabbed my coat and walked out. At the exit, I looked back. Roland was up, voice cracking, insisting it was just a gag. No one listened. They'd seen the truth in widescreen. Outside, the air was sharp. I erased the files from my drive. They weren't needed. The images lived in every mind in that theater. Roland's name would now trail the echo of that shove, that laughter, that sauce-smeared frame. I wasn't the mute backdrop anymore. I'd rewritten the script. And it would outlive every lie he'd ever sold. Please subscribe to our channel and share in the comments where you're watching from.